Hey you guys, I'm back with another reading. Um, so I had this dream and this vision of, because it was multiple and 1:11 on the clock, um, of dreams and visions and information over the last 2 or 3 days, and it all centered around faith and studying um, studying your faith. Doesn't necessarily have to be the Bible, um, but it seemed like it had the feeling of like a Bible group, or some type of spiritual group even, because I was getting almost like a mediumship quality to it. Those that are mediums and have those gifts. And then I was also receiving information around, I went down a little bit of like a cult hole where different cults, like the garbage that's going on in the music industry, let's not even get into that because but there was a significant reason around it, and creativity and artistic expression centered around this faith and studying. So with artistic expression and like cult stuff, there's different types of cults where it could be like a religious type of cult, it could be like starvation cults, could be like beauty, right? Beauty stuff, perfectionism. And then with like the music industry and like the movie industry, Hollywood, right? And the power of blood and the story of, Jesus dying on the cross, and how one of the Romans, I believe it was, stabbed him in his gut area, which is his sacral, which is where all your creative expression comes from, and how the blood spilled out onto the rocks. And then I don't know if it was his mother or one of the other, it could have been, I can't remember. But one of the women went up, it might have been just one of the followers, I can't remember the story exactly, but she went and she took her, like one of the cloth that she wraps around, she was sopping up the blood, because his blood is sacred. And through that process of him being crucified and spilling his blood, or having his blood spilled, is why we are given the power to be cleansed of our sins and able to renew ourselves, renew our minds, renew our bodies. Yeah. So also with like going into the music industry and all that kind of stuff, there's, and Hollywood in general, there's this pattern of getting these young artists, especially women, and it happens to men too, especially right at their prime peak, which is when they hit puberty, right? when women get their cycle, and then what they do is they tap into that, meaning, I mean, let's be honest, right? Pretty sure that they're abusing these women and making them do things against their will. Let's just say that. Because what it does is it not only activates them with their artistic expression, it activates their pain, it activates the abuse, and therefore makes better music, right? Sick, but it's not the only way of doing it. But that's what they're after. They're after money, they're after power, and they know that, like, energetically and through blood, that's how they siphon it, right? Super evil and demonic, but that's what's happening. Little bit heavy, sorry about that. But there was also a thing about coagulation, so blood solidifying. So there was someone being sworn in saying an oath about the brotherhood. So there may be some fear around, I don't know who this message is for or who's going to resonate with this, but there may be some fear around joining a community or joining a group who all are like for the same thing, whether it be religious or spiritual, or just a group that has a unified goal, if you will. And whether or not it's like a positive thing or maybe a negative thing. I'm not getting that it's a negative thing because I pulled some cards and it looks really positive. So yeah, there might be some fear around a belief system, and then fear around artistic expression. Okay. We got that going. All right, so the first card we pulled is, wait, what is this from? Time Travelers. So we got truth. So there's truth being exposed right now, and creativity came up. So it's clarifying the there's a group watching and studying maybe the art that you do, or the spiritual work, or whatever kind of artistic expression that you're into. Could be musical. Miracles. There's miracles coming. And to see the light through the dark, to overcome and be strong in what you believe and what you are expressing, and that this group that is watching you, this group that is studying you, it's a good thing. And the flow. So the flow that you're in, the flow in how you express yourself, that could be, that even could be music, right? Maybe you have good music flow. Maybe you have good artistic flow. Maybe you have good spiritual message flow. And even with the Northern Lights, how it flows in the sky the way that it is. How clouds flow, how communication flows. And what is this, Venice? Yeah, and there's like a gondola and the water, and that's flowing, right? So how your emotion and creativity flow through you, and how you choose to express that. Okay. That was a good full circle. Okay. What can you tell me about this truth, please? So the Cherokee talking stick tradition. So whoever has the stick is the one who gets to speak, and everyone else has to listen. and respect, and everyone will get their time to talk and express themselves and for them to be heard. Yeah, 8 of Cups. Again, with the flow, right? And this one's more in black and white, so I feel like this hasn't happened yet. What else can you tell me about the creativity and this painting, Renaissance? I feel like there's an old school vibe going on with the Renaissance. So maybe you are older and the way you do things is more old school, or maybe you are just an old soul and express themselves through things that are more like an older tradition. Like there's like the difference between painting, like, so for instance, like there's a lot of new age painters out there that kind of do their own thing, and there's people out there that study and are amazing at like the traditional like fine art kind of painting. Whatever you do, it's all good. So what can you tell me about that, please? What can you tell me about this creativity and this art? The Page of Cups. Okay. So I feel like this is something that you're fairly new at doing when it comes to expressing your heart. Yeah, I'm getting like a pressure on my heart, but not a pressure inwards, like a pressure outwards, like it's growing, it's expanding. Yeah. And with the crab on there, right, that could be like crabby emotions, that could be back and forth, right? And then with Cancer, you could have Cancer placements. So soft on the inside, hard shell on the outside, right? Again, going towards a waterfall. Someone is really pouring out. It's interesting. We'll get deeper into it because it's all really good and interesting, but I want to know a little bit more. Okay, what can you tell me about the miracles, please? What can you tell me about the miracles? Judgment. That's cool. Yeah, so judgment in the sense of like people watching you, people studying you. Yeah. So, okay. So here we have like wings, and they look like Egyptian wings. Okay. So to me, and then with the triangle, right? The Holy Trinity. So faith and religious and spiritual aspects, right? And then these hands all coming up, right, to meet you. Again, it's like darker, the road less traveled. You're taking a different route and expecting miracles. So there's a combination of your faith and your spiritualism mixed in with your artistic expression. You're not just expressing yourself about like a specific thing, right? For instance, like, you know, music, you could be writing about love, you could be writing about money, cars, whatever, right? But it feels like you're adding whatever you're expressing you're adding the spiritualism and the faith into that. Okay. And then what can you tell me about this flow? So much flow, so much water. Beautiful. So much healthy emotion and healthy communication. The Hierophant. Again. The Hierophant, right? That's faith. That's spirituality. That's beliefs, right? Yeah. That goes with what I wrote down. So I was saying about like, you know, fear over groups and communities that like have that, but it's like, and like the brotherhood and the collective and everything, you're becoming solid in your faith, right? The pillars, the rocks, the rocks, the rocks, the pyramids, the mountains. You are, and again with the coagulation of blood, you are solid in your foundation, you are solid in your belief system, and you are using that as your stability. I heard emotional stability, artistic stability, and this even could be your financial stability, you know, hopefully, again, with the miracles, right? Yeah. And there's the cross on the ground, right? On stone. Yeah, it's set in stone. This miracle coming in is already set in stone. And you're learning, and again with the Bible or a book or whatever it is that you learn, that you read, it could be anything, right? Anything that's going to expand your mind, help you learn more even at your craft. That's where your keys are, right? It's your temple. That's gorgeous. Beautiful. Keep going. What else? I want clarification. What do we do for clarification? This one? Should we do this one? Yes? Yes? Yes, 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 maybe? This one? Okay, so what can we get for the Eight of Cups and this truth? Okay, Sword and Scales. Yeah, truth. Again, truth and truth. So that's clarification. By the book, right? You're doing things by the book. Integrity. By law. And it doesn't have to be 3D law. Could be God's law. Could be spiritual law. Whatever it is that you believe. Doing things fair and square. Yeah, hear me out. That's really good. Followed by constellation, right? The stars. Supporting meetings, associates, organizations, again, with the group, right? And that's Cancer energy as well. You know, being soft enough, being soft enough to express your emotions. And this could even, if this is for a masculine, this could even be having a balanced and healed feminine aspect, feminine energy, and that allows you to express yourself fully and to share yourself and your ideas and your art with other people, and having them support you and doing things the way that you want to do it, that isn't, you know, like that culty mentality and that grossness, right? You're doing things by the power of integrity and your God-given talents and gifts, which is what you're supposed to do, but you're doing it your way. The healthy way. Okay, what can you tell me about the creativity and the Page of Cups, please? This is a great reading. I really like this. Grapes. Yeah. I did hear the grapes of wrath in my head, but because of the truth, and I was saying about the cults, right? You're being strong with the integrity, right? Abundance, bearing fruit, bearing your own fruit. So you must have planted these seeds a while ago. Enjoying the fruits of your labor. You will have wealth from this, prosperity from this. It'll be merriment. That's really nice. And 8 is abundance. Yeah, you're doing it the right way, the way that it's supposed to be done. You know? Oh, so like even going out on your own, right? Like an entrepreneur, and then like working and collabing with other people, and it helps boost the both of you, right? Equal exchange of energy. What can you tell me about the miracles and the judgment, please? Still. Refinement. Refinement? Refinement. I'm so choppy in my words. Refinement, taste, culture, style. Yeah, you're fine-tuning your craft. Why did I say it like that? What is going on? Refinement, taste, culture, style. Yeah, you're fine-tuning, you have style, you know, you're flowing right, you could be well-cultured, you have great taste. Yeah. And it's going to, this group, when this miracle happens, this group is going to draw out and infuse I'm just seeing 1:33 on the clock. I'm seeing like little, they're not, I guess they're fruit, I don't know. Like the stuff that goes into distilling and making like fruit infusions and stuff. So the color and the taste and the herbs and the whatever, right? And that's Taurus energy, so that's stability, right? That's grounding it, which is what this group that's studying you is going to do, or these future people that you're coming into contact with. So there may be, like I said, fear or reluctance around it, but to look at the light, to trust your integrity and your vision. That's like a lot. Should I take these? No. Okay. Well, but I'll take the one that fell. That's, holy crap. Okay, yeah, that's way too many. What's this one? A tandem bicycle. Yeah, working together, working in flow, working in unison, right? Synchronized, alliance, partnership, unison, equality, collaboration. Yeah, I was just talking about collaboration. Cooperation and harmony. 2 of a kind. And that could even go with the harmony and the balance and the unison of you using your spiritual or belief system to incorporate that into your art. Yeah, that's beautiful. This is great. This is a nice reading. Let's get like one more card of anything Spirit wants to say about this. Okay? And then we're going to end it. So we got handcuffs, which is funny because it almost looks like a 3, right? Which is creative, and 4, stability. So it says like pray and suppress and need to break free. And submitting. Yeah, so I feel like this really has to do with you not submitting to the way that, big corporations do things or the masses do things. You're breaking free from that and you're doing it your way, like an entrepreneur. You're doing it, the way that it should be done, right? The wholesome way, the real way, the hard work way. Not the selling your soul and, massive trauma for the rest of your life just to make a quick buck or be a millionaire. It's disgusting. Again, for stability, lots of grounding, lots of like rocks, right? Yeah, and then going that way, taking that path less traveled, you're gonna be met with like a lot of rocks. Even with your faith and spirituality, people will throw rocks at you and like judge you for all sorts of things, and so you're overcoming that. And so this is roadblock, right? So you probably have been met with a lot of blocks and a lot of challenges. And you may even feel like right now, one step forward, two steps back. You might even feel right now that all of your hard work, like you've kind of met like a plateau. But Spirit is telling you, double fours, 8 equals abundance. Spirit is telling you that your miracle is coming, to keep going, keep pushing forward. Keep standing in your creative expression, in your truth, and in your faith. I don't know if it really goes, but sure, roses. Maybe you'll get your flowers, right? You'll be number one, you're blooming, you're blossoming, whether you're a man or a female, male, woman, whatever words. Yeah. The love of yourself, the love of what you do, the gifts that you have, the friendships that you'll make, the passion that you have. You'll be delighted. I'm really picking up on the high emotional IQ. Yeah, taking this path left traveled and moving through all of this, that's emotional stability. That's mental strength and mental fortitude. So your blessings are coming. Keep going. And this is amazing. This makes me feel really happy. I feel good inside. So really great energy. Thanks, guys. Peace.